This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
The wrongs we must right. The fights we must win. The future we must secure together for our nation. This is what's in front of us. This determines what's next for all of us. We are Marines. We were made for this.
She fluent in that cash talk. Walk in the booth like Naomi on the catwalk. And tell them bitches whoop whoop from the Jaguar. It ain't even right though. Push me and I might go. She ain't getting money. I'm like, what the fuck the hype for? When them bitches bite flow, make my appetite go. Poof, gone, voila, magic. Looking mad good just to pull up on them rampant.
Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged and Immoral. I'm Mecca.
And I am your resident Beehive member, Jamila.
Well, are you that beehive? You're not in theme. Can I show you all my points of Black History Day? This is our first Black History Month episode. So obviously I'm wearing, a 613 and a cowboy hat because Beyonce won Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter. I have on a Hampton crew neck. Hampton just won against Howard this past weekend.
Again?
Howard can't win anything.
And that's unfortunate.
And last but certainly not least, I did this for you, Jamila. A hee-hee. And it's blue for the sweatshirt. You don't...
I'm going to allow...
A hee-hee.
I'm just going to allow. A hee-hee is insane. I didn't know we were getting theme. I just simply wanted to serve cunt.
And that's fine.
So here I am in all of that and my Blackness. It's a beautiful day to be a Black Gemini who's also a Beehive member through and through.
Why specifically a Gemini?
Well, we do have to acknowledge Kendrick Lamar.
Sorry, I was going to be like, Beyonce's a Virgo.
Oh, listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Virgos are my mutable signs. She is a part of my tribe.
So
I
crazy,
fear.
Jamila. If Drake had just relaxed, it never would have got this far.
And unfortunately,
that's what's insane because they've been throwing baby shots at each other for a literal decade. Both of them equally, just throwing baby shots. Mm-hmm. But the push-ups and Future's messy ass. Future needs to be on the damn Housewives. I think it's messy. But we should have known when he said he was going to get his bitch back and Sierra was being taken care of by a man of God that he was just he was insane.
We knew he was not sane and we knew he was not just a gentleman. We knew that. But what's crazy is it's not ending here. We still have the Super Bowl. And it's I would have set myself on fire by now if I was straight, on live so that y'all could feel my wrath because how dare you keep embarrassing me like this?
He kind of has.
Damn, this is embarrassing for you, nigga. And that's what the fuck you get. I'm so sorry. I don't give a goddamn. Y'all know I love to just hate on people. And this just makes me feel so ooey gooey inside.
It's not as
Thank
sweet
you,
for
King
me.
Kendrick.
I used to be Aubrey's angel.
Yeah.
So it's not like a sweet, this is bittersweet. I definitely do feel like it's deserved.
I know. Yeah.
I feel like it's deserved. I feel like this is what he earned. But yeah. I wasn't one of the people preying on Drake's downfall.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't.
I was.
I will.
And it's not necessarily I prayed on his downfall. I genuinely just wanted him to be humbled. And that we got that and more. We got that and so much more. And it's I think now going forward, we're going to see a different side of hip hop. Not really a different side of hip hop, but more so going back to what hip hop used to be, because even seeing the surgence of Doechii and her popping out in all of her glory and artistry, it's let's get back to our roots of creativity and artistry. I'm sick of the bullshit. And I think that, unfortunately, a recession, a depression does bring out the artist. So it's it's a bittersweet moment.
They said Lady Gaga is a sign that we're in a recession. And when Lady Gaga is being weird,
She's back to her weird ass. She didn't bleach
Jamila,
the brows. I said, oh, we're back.
This glove really does make me feel like MJ.
Oh, please.
And it's like just gripping the mic. Or am I going to turn to Jill Scott and start acting like it's a dick? But
please
nonetheless, the glove like activates something. I see why he wore it. And I see why them weird boys in middle school wore the glove to try and be fake ass MJ too. Like it just, it makes your hand feel
well, hopefully you'll stop being shady.
How am I being shady?
You know you be shading Michael any chance you get.
I like Michael. I like every black child went through a Michael Jackson phase.
Sure. But you be shady.
Because I say a hee nostrils?
Like, don't, like,
they're a hee nostrils, Jamila. That's
and you're a shady bitch.
Rebbie has the best nose job of all the Jacksons. It's the most natural looking.
So T.
She's so beautiful.
She's so T.
She's so beautiful, honestly.
She's so good.
Centipede is a fucking bop. Really sorry.
She looks really good. Shout out to Rebbie Jackson. Mm-hmm. I love you, older sister. Wow.
What's another example of me being shaded in Michael Jackson? I think
Did you know any chance you get to drop a MJ reference?
We're right, but I bring up good Michael Jackson references as well.
And when you get the opportunity, you be trying to be funny too.
I mean, Michael was a funny guy.
He was amazing and hilarious in his own right. Love him to pieces. Still holds the record for most Grammy wins in a single night. I fear. Love that man.
Wasn't that the night he had on his glove as well?
Yes, that was, of course, for the Thriller era, as we know. Number one selling album.
That was his third nose job.
And see, Thriller. That's what I mean.
That's just the fun fact.
And that's what I goddamn mean, bitch.
That's because just a fun fact. He was on his third nose job. That just simply just is, Jamila.
You don't know how many.
The transformation of Michael, like, okay, this is Black history. And the transformation of Michael Jackson is just as important to his legacy as his music. Because if you think
it's not, because he did not like to harp on it.
Each era, he looked extremely different.
Okay.
It's a part of the aesthetics of the era.
Okay.
He went from having a Jerry curl, wet and wavy, and then by the time he was in the 90s, he was in a ponytail and a bob.
Okay.
And then by the time we got back to This Is It, he was back to the wet and wavy. That matters.
And guess what?
What?
It was cunt.
It was. I didn't say it wasn't. Remember the time that bob was tea.
Exactly.
And the way it was moving and bouncing when he was like doing all this. And he went and had all them black people. Remember the time is more Black history. Such a good music video. The way my mom was like described, I forgot what she said. It premiered like during syndicated TV, like cable TV, and like everybody watched it.
Everybody.
And they were like, because he had all the who's who, like even the simplest background characters were relevant to the time. Mm-hmm. So there was this one girl in like she was a commercial lady. Like she wasn't a huge star, but she was a Black lady who they put in all this commercials. And she was like, even her, like we recognized her. Like it was very intentionally everybody.
He had the power to grab the A-list of A-list and be like, hey, do you want to like be, even when we look at Liberian Girl, it's not even really a story. This is the only video that he did that was not necessarily a narrative storyline. He simply wanted to flex and be like, I can pull all of the A-list celebrities of the time in my music video just for the gag of it all. My God, what an icon. Oh!
He is.
Love you.
Gary, Indiana's finest.
Hello?
I know he could cook. I feel like Michael Jackson could cook well.
Because one of his favorite meals was fried chicken. He loved fried chicken.
Because he was a girl.
Ugh, love that Black man. I think of him all the time. Truly. You know what's crazy? What I love most about Michael is that he's still so referenced today. Like I spot it immediately. Anytime someone is giving an ode or nod to Michael in their performances, in their wardrobe, in anything that they do, it just makes my heart feel so warm that like all these years after he's dead and gone, he is still so referenced. What an icon, what a king, what a legend. Am I right?
You know what music video I was listening to like when I was in Dallas like 3 days ago? Jackson Street, Jackson Street, and they had all the family in the music video from like at that point up until like the 90s, whenever it was made, the 80s.
Bobbing.
And then they all had a verse. It was so cute. And then Jackie was like throwing a football, and they were all like, it was
they were just all so happy. Like, I love them.
But that wasn't all tea, because last night I happened to hear audio of him on the phone with someone because Joe had asked him for $500,000. Have you seen that?
Ask who was on the
It
phone
was
with
literally
somebody?
like a recorded, like,
Michael was on the phone with somebody?
yeah, he was talking to his friend about how Joseph had asked him for money. And, you know, he was like, Joseph wants $500,000. And he was annoyed about it though.
Oh
Like
my
it wasn't
God.
it was like, ugh, fuck Joseph, you know. But I did, you know what, really, Jamila, truly, I didn't send it to you because I just assumed, you know, as a Michael Jackson archivist that you knew what it was. I've never seen
No, I
this.
haven't seen that.
Yeah.
There's something new that pops out about him like every year.
It was from a
I
Michael
follow
Jackson
all of the
fan
stan
page.
pages.
Yeah,
So
I was
I'm
gonna say it was on a
always,
stan page. So
I'm sure I'll see it right after this. I follow most of them. The ones that are OG, not the new bitches. Them new bitches be acting a damn fool, be trying to shade Beyonce. I'm like, you cannot be a Michael stan shading Beyonce. That's out of order.
that is the other thing about the stan pages.
I hate
they
them.
they don't even respect their stans, because that's the one thing, you know, you can feel it how you want to feel about Chris Brown, but even Chris Brown has been like, hey guys, let's not do that. That's why I feel like when people say Chris Brown is like surpassed Michael Jackson in terms of dance or talent or whatever they want to say it is, I always go to their profile and I'm like, yeah, nigga. You just a nigga who want to just, you know, stand behind a nigga.
Right. You either wanted to just start some shit or you're very young. Because what are you talking about?
Even Chris Brown don't vibe with that. Beyonce don't vibe with that. They don't be wanting y'all to do that.
They would never allow y'all to say some dumbass shit like that. I seen that little tweet where they wanted to try to make it seem like Chris Brown is a better performer, a better dancer specifically. And here's what I always like to say, because I think you guys really misunderstand dancing a little bit. Number one, obviously Chris Brown is an amazing dancer. We're not going to take that away from him. Clearly, the nigga can dance. But y'all seen that nigga do that front flip and lost your fucking mind.
It's because he did it on beat.
Flip is gymnastics. That's not dancing, number one. My second point is Chris Brown does not have a unique style of dance. And that's not a diss. That's not no shade. It just is what it is. There are no moves that you can clocky me like that is, unless you're talking about take you down, humping in the air. He does not have a signified dancing. Because I ain't never seen nobody do that
except Chris Brown.
You know what I'm saying?
That was him.
That was him. But he does not have a unique style of dance, because a lot of his dancing he gets from Michael, which is okay. He's a good dancer. Michael Jackson created a style of dance.
But Chris Brown will also tell you that. He will tell you he's heavily inspired by Michael Jackson.
And that's why it's like you can't try to be for real, babes. Be for real.
But on the same flip, Michael Jackson will tell you he's heavily inspired by James Brown.
He will. For sure. But you know, James Brown dancing was very, very limited. He took a lot of reference from James Brown and Jackie Wilson and created his own style. You know what I'm saying? And created something that's easily recognizable. You can see somebody dancing right now and be like, oh, got that from Michael immediately. Immediately. Yeah.
But you know, on the flip,
that's why I put him up there.
I've told you, like, my dad is a big James Brown stan. On the flip, in real time when Michael was doing his shit, like, that's how it was being recognized, though. The same way we're saying, oh, like, I'm watching. And even though, maybe in 10, 20, 30 years, Chris Brown will have his own stylized dance style that we'll recognize as, oh, that's like a Chris Brown dance, because the same thing was happening. Like, Michael was hitting the moonwalk and he was doing all this. But the people who were there in real time.
That'll be people lying.
Well, no.
And forgetting their history.
But one could argue people forget their history when it comes to Michael and his inspiration.
I mean, inspiration and like what because his inspiration is very obvious. Like, you can see and hear Michael's inspirations, but still he completely transcended his dancing skills beyond James Brown, because a lot of the James Brown was mostly footwork and splits. Michael kept the footwork, but added a lot of other stuff as well.
So that is my point. James Brown was the first person to do like all the fucking footwork. So in real time, when we're, you know, in the 70s, 80s watching this, and Michael's doing footwork, he's not doing it exactly like James Brown. Of course, he's doing it like Michael, but we get the reference. We know, oh, that's a James Brown reference. So what I'm saying is, when Chris Brown has a long enough performance history that I do possibly think in the future, we can't necessarily sit and watch it and like interpret it here with us, because we have seen Michael Jackson. So we can't really separate, okay, Chris Brown are there. That's what I'm saying. Like, even when I listen to my dad talk, it's like, okay, he can't necessarily separate the James Brown footwork from the Michael footwork. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I get it, but I just don't think it's going to be the same with Chris Brown. I just don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening
at all.
To your point, because I don't know. Michael had a spotted legal history as well, whether you believe it or not. But And Chris Brown just won a Grammy. So it's like
not even just on the legal standpoint, or like not even on that, just off of just pure his talent. I just don't think, even when we would take a step back, like we can recognize Chris Brown's legacy without us because I feel like, I've always said this, I feel like Chris Brown's specific legacy as far as like who he directly emulates success-wise has always been more so Bobby Brown and Usher. So I don't know why we skip those and go directly to Michael Jackson, because even though, of course, he heavily references Michael Jackson, obviously he's a huge Michael Jackson fan and he emulates him a lot. I feel like his career is more so closely aligned with Bobby Brown and Usher based off of the type of music he does, the type of dancing, the bad boy era, all of that is way more closely tied to them two than Michael Jackson. So I don't even really see why people continually reference Michael when trying to talk about Chris Brown. I mean, I get it because you want to go for the top
Chris
dog,
Brown,
but it's like it just doesn't.
Chris Brown is such an outstanding dancer. This is not to say that Usher and Bobby Brown are not good dancers, but Chris Brown, I will give him that. He's an outstanding dancer. Michael is an outstanding dancer. I really do think, because I agree with you, I would think like Usher would be a more comparable comparison. But I think that it's that piece of dancing that's always going to make people want it. Because, you know, Michael is the reference of dance. Like, that's just what it is. Is if you're referencing dance, you're going to think Michael Jackson. So when people come in and they're really, really good at dancing, they're going to reference Michael.
We're going to take a break. And we're back.
But to your point about Chris Brown that I wanted to say, I feel like, and this makes me want to ask like people who were alive during this time, if you're on Twitter, and the side of Twitter I'm on, you know, I obviously don't agree with Chris Brown's spotty legal history. You would think that Chris Brown is blackballed, but he's not, in the way that if you're on certain sides of Twitter. He's really not
blackballed at all.
No, like, but do you get what I'm saying?
It's like more so he has a smear. He definitely has.
He has a big smear.
He has a big smear, and I think it definitely limits him a lot, because even looking back to when he was supposed to do a Michael tribute with, I think it was Kelly Rowland, maybe something about that. I can't remember. What was it? The AMA? Some award he was supposed to do. Which one was it?
I think it was Sierra.
Sierra, yeah. It was him and Sierra, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It wasn't long ago. It wasn't like right after the situation. It was very recent. And they pulled out last minute. Like he had already been prepping for it. So it's like, it definitely limits him. Okay. But it has not stopped him.
I was going to say, because when I saw
successful. So it's like, yeah, those things are he's still reaping consequences from all of his actions leading up to it. So it's definitely one of those things where he's limited, but I don't think it's stopping him, because I mean, he had a sold out tour.
So that's been my biggest thing. Like, again, I'm not going to, like, I feel like if you're a woman of a certain age, at some point you were in love with Chris Brown. I was one of them girls.
For sure. I was a stan.
Okay, so we all went to go see this Christmas in theaters and screamed when he put his fucking bird chest on the screen, but we were all 9. So that was like the pinnacle of sex appeal. It wasn't until this last tour, and I have people in my life who are big Chris Brown fans, but the thing about those ladies is they're the girls who have been Chris Brown fans since they were 12, 13, and they decided to remain Team Breezy. Whereas like a lot of people have been like, oh, well, you know, I don't agree with that, back up, like me and you.
Yeah.
Watching them go on to this past tour, and they even asked me to go with them, and I was like, I'm straight on that. But he had to add dates. It was sold out. I had no idea he was even nominated for a Grammy. When they said he won a Grammy yesterday, I was actually shocked, because again, if you get on Twitter or anytime he does something, you would think that Chris Brown is never going to step into rooms. And it's just like, what? For in the past year, I just feel like I was not aware that Chris Brown was thriving as much as he's thriving. Like, I legitimately was not.
That's a great example of how social media is not the real world.
It's
only a snapshot. Like, because his success outside of social media is undeniable. And like, whether you agree with it or not, it's not relevant, because it's not affecting him as much as we once thought it would. Now, obviously, when shit first cracked down, when the first beating hit, baby, that nigga was not out of there. I thought he was never coming back from that.
Graffiti
I really
is such
did.
an amazing album, and it didn't get no love because he dropped it right after that.
Yep. And let me tell you how I remember, baby, I feel like I was watching the TV when they stripped the Spearmint commercial off of the screen. It was like gone, like it didn't even exist.
They used to play that commercial in heavy rotation
every day. I
double your pleasure, double the gum, and that was
they
a
stripped
commercial.
that shit immediately. He was immediately up out of there. So I thought it was gonna remain. So seeing, transitioning to now, it's like, oh shit, like
it's like he doesn't get the mainstream shit like he did pre, Rihanna and stuff. But he absolutely is. He doesn't even need it.
His fan base is secure.
He literally doesn't need it because he's thriving so heavily. And I think that's like a good, how you brought up the internet being so different than reality when we're thinking about like presidential elections and like just what our timelines are feeding us versus what's really going on outside. Because like I can't stress enough, I did not know Chris Brown was thriving. I knew he was thriving because I knew he had a solid fan base, but thriving as well as he is, when they had to, like, when I was watching my homegirls trying to get tickets and they were having to do like Beyonce, literally. And mind you, one of them didn't go to Beyonce because she said, "Wow, I'm going to Chris Brown." I said, "Bitches, you cool?" Okay. Well,
okay. Well, thank you for giving me that ticket, baby, because
yeah, it's not me. Okay. I'm not sacrificing my Beyonce ticket for the Chris Brown.
No.
I think she also dubbed the Usher concert to go to this.
Oh, girl, please.
Team Breezy be serious.
They do be serious. I mean, I get it. Like,
and he's a good performer. He puts on a good show, though.
It looks like a great show. Like, it's just, and it's crazy because if you knew me in middle school, baby, I was so down. I had pictures of him stapled on my wall. I was so obsessed with Chris Brown. Y'all just don't understand. I was heartbroken when he beat Rihanna's ass because I knew I had to dip out because it was just so bad. Chris Brown is gonna be Chris Brown, beat her or not. Yeah. They call him beige rage these days.
But he broke that fight up that one time with Justin Combs and Christian Combs. He was a peacemaker between Ray J.
Oh.
Yeah, this
Christian Combs and
after
Combs?
Diddy was first like for real arrested,
yeah,
Justin and Christian were out in LA and they tried to fight Ray J because Ray J's supposed to be friends with their dad.
Yeah,
and Chris Brown broke it up.
Okay, maybe he's growing.
Maybe
I feel like depending now this
he is from Virginia though, so
depending on now disclaimer, what I'm about to say may come across as problematic.
Ooh, say it.
But you have to just allow me to just get it off real quick. Depending on the offense, depending on how the sincerity goes, I do think there are some qualities that are redeemable. And I do think that people are allowed to change and grow. Whether or not they do so is on them.
Oh, yeah, that was a problem.
If you're a sexual offender, fuck you. I don't give a damn, bitch. I don't care if you never do it again. Something about that shit's just pure fucking evil, and I think you should
I don't think
die.
you can come back from assaulting someone sexually.
Assaulting someone sexually is just so vile. I just don't know if you can come back from that. Being a womanizer and beater, it's hard, but it's possible. Is Chris Brown there yet? I don't know. He still be in trouble every now and again. We gonna see. But I mean,
that's interesting.
It's difficult.
I also think the severity of the offense, because you have men who are like monsters. And I'm gonna be transparent. I don't categorize even some domestic what are these called, disputes. Some of that shit, when you look at like, okay, if he pushed you, you shove. I don't think in relationships you should be putting your hands on nobody. Point blank, period. Neither, and women too, because I know sometimes we lose our brains. You should not be putting your hands on a man. You should not be because abuse goes both ways. And if you popping him in the face, all that shit, that ain't cool either. Nobody should be touching each other. That's not how you should handle conflict at all. With that being said, I'm not some of the way James Brown used to be bitches. That wasn't
all
fair.
Of them.
And I mean, like stomping bitches out, type like the way Dr. Dre beats bitches.
Hello.
The way, like, there are men who really, like, really pulverize women. Like pulverize. And, like, some of this shit. That's why I can't even be mad when people transitioning into Kendrick, calling out an abuser, but you hang around Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre been whooping bitches' asses for 40 years.
Like, it's a valid concern.
And I mean, not just whooping bitches' asses, breaking nose, knocking teeth out.
Breaking noses, breaking cheekbones.
Like, fucking bitches up. Hell
fucking
no.
Fucking them clean the fuck up.
Hell no. They're in no world do, and I'm maybe be a little bit problematic here. Ain't no way you as a woman know Dr. Dre's track record and get with Dr. Dre. Why is you touching the goddamn fire? He has
getting with
40,
Dr. Dre today
40, damn near 50
crazy.
Years of breaking bones. Are you fucking crazy?
And he just keeps getting bigger and bigger, bitch. Stay away from him.
Even his ex-wife, the one he fucking had parading around Michelle. I know that because we watched the movie, Lifetime movie she made when we was in college.
Great movie. Hello.
Bitch. Mind you, I knew Dr. Dre was an abuser, but that movie,
I said, fuck.
Oh my God.
Fuck. Mind you, you know what's
Michelle didn't even want that nose job.
Michelle damn near said, I really wasn't even gonna make this movie if y'all didn't leave me out of Straight Outta Compton. She said, I ain't gonna lie, you leaving me out of there like I was not actually there in real time. I simply have to do my own. And I said, you know what?
She's absolutely right, because there's no way they could have put her in Straight Outta Compton without touching on the fact that he was whipping her ass every motherfucking day.
Exactly.
There's no way. And mind you, considering that him, Cube, and all the niggas who were actually in NWA were heavily involved, them niggas knew, sat there and watched. They wasn't moving like that with their own women.
Yep.
Because if you look, Ice Cube been with Keisha for how many years?
Forever.
Had his own son playing him.
Yeah.
So y'all knew that shit was happening. You watched it, and all of you niggas would have looked crazy. So you had to leave her out the movie.
And she said, "That's fine. I'll make my own."
Cool.
And it was great.
And we
Matter
all
of fact, I might have
in.
to rewatch it.
I remember we sat there and watched it at Hampton.
It was so good.
It was really good. Her movie, and Wendy Williams produced it. Was it the Whitney movie that was really good on Lifetime?
The Whitney movie was cool.
There was one more that came out during that era when we were in college.
What's her name from the game to play her though?
Who? Drew Sidora?
No, not Drew. Janae from the game. The one that
the crackhead?
No, bitch, the game.
Oh, that was House of Pain.
Yes.
Sorry.
Janae, the one that Derwin cheated on Melanie with and had a baby. Janae. She played
Isn't that Drew
Houston.
Sidora?
No. He cheated more than once.
Oh. Okay.
That's who he had a baby with.
The game is a fever dream at this point. Them bringing in Lauryn Hill, I don't even think that really happened. what the fuck was that? It wasn't even good when she came in. And that's no offense to Book.
It did get weird after a while.
Were you talking about TLC?
Yes. Thank you, Melissa.
Oh, TLC.
Yes. Where would we be without Melissa? She just comes in like the voice. That's
TLC was really good. Shout out to Lil Mama.
Yes.
You did that, girl. And Kiki.
I always remember Kiki was chilly. And who was Lil Mama? And was Left Eye. And Juice. And okay, that's what Juice Adora is. Because remember, I was like, there was another. I remember specifically freshman year at Hampton, the Michelle movie dropped, and then the TLC movie dropped, and we sat and watched all of them.
They were both
and the year before that, the New Edition movie had dropped. A Lifetime was on a little run. Lifetime.
No, New Edition was BET.
Was BET? I'm sorry,
but it was. Ooh,
they was on a run. And then you know what else? There was Lifetime that was good. The Clark Sisters, bitch.
I still have to watch that one, but I heard it was so good.
Jamila, I'm not playing. Aujane Ellis as Dr. Maddie Moss Clark.
I already know.
That movie was good.
I already know.
That movie is good.
Sometimes
it's so crazy how sometimes like Lifetime BET gets it right, and then sometimes they get it so wrong. Because like the Aaliyah movie, what the fuck was that?
It was so horrible. First of all, who was that young lady?
She was in. She's been in a couple things.
She don't need to be in that.
No, that wasn't the role for her. Absolutely
not.
It
was horrible.
But the Aaliyah movie came out around this same time. So it was like they were on this random run of like.
But I also know there was something with her family. You know, her family's fucking weird. Yeah. So it was something
they have
with
a lot
that.
Of inside drama amongst themselves.
Yeah. I didn't like that at all. And I really love Aaliyah. So I was really looking forward to watching that. And I was let down extremely. I said, oh yeah, this was ass. Don't do that again.
We're going to take a break.
And we're back.
Album of the year, Cowboy
Album
Carter.
of the year. Do you feel like Beyonce winning album of the year was a here damn?
Yes and no. The thing about Beyonce, she's so intentional with her work. So every album she drops that has been in that category absolutely deserves to be in that category.
Sure.
She don't have no awards that it's not like a sympathy award. Cowboy Carter did deserve to be in that category. The here damn of it all is like, damn, bitch, you gonna keep making albums that we gotta recognize and at least goddamn nominate. You know what I'm saying? It just was giving like here damn in terms of, because if we don't give it to you, you just gonna keep. Like how Susan Lucci kept getting nominated for Emmys because Erica Kane was fucking iconic and a good character. She's a good actress. You know, Susan Lucci was nominated like 30-some times before she actually won. Yeah. Like she was nominated every year. So here damn just simply becomes here damn because you're not going nowhere.
Yeah.
She's not, and we're on, and think about it. Act 3 is supposed to be rock music.
And let me tell you something. As the daughter of a rock and roll player, baby, I am set and ready to scream. I'm so excited.
It's just a matter of like, here, damn, so that we could possibly get back to regularly scheduled programming or not. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
But Cowboy Carter was absolutely deserving of Album of the Year, but so was Renaissance. So was Lemonade. So was Self-Titled.
And so on and so on.
Because honestly, of that run, I'll stand 10 toes. B-Day is my favorite Beyonce album because of the fact that album raised me. Like, I would not be who I am today if she had not shaped and molded me in that way. But Renaissance, dropping your best album so deep in your career is crazy.
No, she's
that's like some Tina Turner type shit.
Her run is really, really insane. And it's like, when you look back, there's not a lot of artists that you can like lay out their discography and be like, all of these are hits. Like, there's always sometimes like, this one is kind of ass. Like
which one do you think is kind of ass? Because that's the thing about Beyonce. Because I know we were trying to talk
ass. Now we can rank
I was going to say
like,
ass in terms of, I have fun ranking Beyonce albums with other Beyonce fans because you can really sit there and talk about it because at the end, it's all simply good music. Like, she really doesn't have any skips.
Yeah, she doesn't have
It's just a matter of like, why do you like this album?
Yeah,
or
for sure.
What does it mean to you? Like how I just said, B-Day, I got the deluxe CD and DVD for my birthday that year.
It was a moment. And what's amazing about being there for B-Day is like being there. So it's like I said, being a Beehive member who is my age or older is different because this was our legend that we got to watch from start to now.
Yeah.
Versus like, obviously y'all know I'm such a huge fan of Michael Jackson, but by the time I discovered Michael Jackson, I was like 5. He was at the very tail end of his career. So I basically had to do catch up, and I just went back because I just liked him so much. And I went back and like, revisited and watched the performances, but I was not there live time. The only thing I was there for live time was when he dropped Invincible, and so that I got to experience a lot.
And honestly, this is it. But it was in the beginning parts of This Is It, his comeback.
Yeah, but just even with that, I didn't really get to see that until when he passed, because of course they were documenting that. It was just different. So being able to witness Beyonce's career, her damn near her entire career, is so significant to me. And honestly, I feel like with her winning Album of the Year, I know a lot of people are going to try to diminish it and be like, oh, they only gave her that because she paid for it. They only gave her that because her husband got on stage and cried. And I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you, because
I don't care.
This, even if this was a here damn, even if this is like, well, bitch, we just needed to give you, she deserved it, because let's just lay it out. Like, Cowboy Carter was such an amazing album outside of all of the things, because we can also talk about how this album came out of pure spite. The fact that she did Daddy Lessons just as a whim, like, baby, I was just trying to do a little one too. And the way that they shut her out of the country community and tried to say, yo, black ass can't do country, we gonna let you do this performance, but we gonna take it down from our website because all the white people saying they don't want to see your black ass, and we gonna do it anyway.
Well, did you see the guy who was at the CMAs that year and said, and he was like, someone yelled, "Get that black bitch off stage!"
Yeah,
she's
they were
performing.
booing her.
Yeah,
and they were absolutely being so fucking racist to her. But the CMAs caved and took the performance down. They only put it back up because they got so much backlash. So for her,
they even caved and they didn't nominate her for anything this past year.
For her to say, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to, just because you think that you can do this to me, I'm going to come back and make a whole ass fucking country album. But then make it black as fuck on top of that, to pull the references that she pulled, to be as black as she was, to pull the artists that she did. Everything was so intentional. So, but all that aside,
look at the
album was simply just good.
But look at the cultural impact of it as well. Like,
Hello?
Western is now fast fashion. But this is the second time she's done this. That's why, honestly, I'm so excited for the rock era, Act 3, because think about it, Renaissance had everyone throwing metallics and silvers.
Hello.
Cowboy Carter had everyone into the Western cowboys. The fashions we're gonna get from the rock era, I'm giddy.
Sickening.
I'm excited. Wait. Like, please, I specifically want her to. I have several Tina Turner outfits in mind that I know she most likely is going to pull from herself because she's an archivist.
And that I cannot wait to see.
Those are the references that I want to see.
I can't wait to see, because y'all already, if y'all don't know, Tina is also in my top. Like, I am a Tina Turner stan. My God, I love that. And you should have known that
when she was fucking Pamela Anderson for Halloween this past year. I said, oh, she's prepping.
She's
But I know Pam is. The youth don't really know Tommy Lee, the rocker, and Pam, the rock wife, and
the moment of it all.
Like, when she put that big furry hat on, that was a direct reference. Like, yes, prepare. Prepare. I'm about to gag.
Prepare yourselves. Yeah, and I love looking back at I'm able to like dissect all of her albums. For me, because you asked like, what do you put at the lowest? And ironically speaking, and this again, let me preface this by saying there is no bad Beyonce album.
It's just a butcher what you think.
There's just. But based off of what I know and based off of my personal preference, the one I put at the bottom, ironically, is her debut album. And I say that because I think this was her first
album.
And it's an amazing album. And
I mean, boys. When I say niggas, I mean boys.
Boys do love that album.
They love Me, Myself, and I Bad.
It's traditional R&B. I love it for what it is. It's traditional R&B. It's amazing music. It's so amazingly well put together. But it is not identifiably Beyonce. I personally feel like her sophomore album, B-Day, is when she created her sound. B-Day means a lot to everybody. I feel like every Beehive member really like has engraved like B-Day into their veins because it is literally when Beyonce became Beyonce. She had a very, very like distinct sound on that album. And it was like immediately, yes. Like, it was just so her. The instrumentation on that album alone is ridiculous. The bridges, all of the things. So for me, that's like one of her top albums. And I kind of shuffled the rest in between.
You want to know what my bottom Beyonce album is?
Which one?
It's Lemonade.
Oh.
I know that's controversial. But
do explain.
It just didn't resonate with me. I think it's more of like a resonating thing. I'm not like, again, all the songs, excellent songs. But the thing that I realize about myself is that I think that if you take it out of like me personally, it's in her top 5. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm just talking like Beyonce discography that I feel like, okay, cultural impact as a whole, Lemonade would be top 5. If I'm talking about me personally, it's
like not a person. It's just not a personal.
It's not a personal like preference. It's dead last. It doesn't get much spin for me.
I can understand that. It's definitely one of those ones that kind of was a personal hit.
Yeah. It had to have resonated with you in that moment.
Right. I feel like with Lemonade, because the reason it's so high up for me is simply because of the rollout of it all. That her doing a short film for that and allowing the music to kind of play and gradually tell the story of like healing and grief. Yeah, but it's the last song. It wasn't really a part of the.
I was going to say Formation was like it's different thing, but I know it's on Lemonade. That's why I was. Okay. Yeah,
it was just everything, and I was like, I felt a different level of vulnerability from Beyonce on that album. I think that's why it feels so close to home for me, because I never heard her sound that vulnerable before on a whole album. I'm like, oh my God, Beyonce's talking to us, because she don't talk to us no more.
So and I remember when she used to talk to us, and even when she used to talk to us, it really wasn't what I love about. And I am seeing this from some of the new girls, like I always want to call that girl Chappelle. It's Chapel.
Chaperone.
Chapel, Sabrina. A lot of the girls are going back to artist development and the school of Matthew Knowles, the school of Joe Jackson, the school of we don't need to know too much about you personally. And I really, 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 really love that. Yep. Like taking out the Summer Walker of it all. Because that's the thing. You understand that Summer Walker is incredibly, incredibly talented. Like that bitch, doesn't she play the guitar too and write them songs? But it's never going to give, you feel me, a money long Victoria Monet, like a developed artist, because we know really too much of your bit, you too much in the mix with the civilians. And I love that from at least this freshman class, we're seeing that
they're going back.
Get out of civilian business. Yeah. It's because we've been on the internet for 20 years now, and people have, watched the pros and cons of it.
They figured it out. So me and Chani just said, we're actually in a good era of music. Like, we're at right now.
Yeah. But you can even see that with new and upcoming like influencers, social media personalities. Dr. Jazz, I follow her on TikTok, and she has her PhD in like influencers. I can't remember the exact thing, but if you know Dr. Jazz, when she has glasses and curly hair, she was talking about how she's like followed people like Raven Elise for this whole time. Who
love Raven.
We love Raven, but Raven has came out and said, I want my personal life back. Because you doing that for a decade, it's not sustainable. Even if you look at the Kardashians, we still see a lot of them, but it's like they're not as on Front Street as they were back in the day. Like that's not sustainable long term, I think. And like the new class,
it's just not realistic.
Yeah, like personalities, influencers. You see us. I know for sure, me and Jamila, like you don't be hearing us talk about the men we date no more. Whereas, personally, at one time I used to actively talk about it. I'm talking to you about that.
No,
I didn't. I know with Noah, he pops in here and out, but you don't know too much about him. Noah's not the.
I was gonna say the way
content.
People still in my comments every time, randomly.
But
oh my
honestly,
gosh, you have a kid. And
that's even in like the past year, Jamila. Like there was a point in time where if we followed you, we knew you had a son. I think it's so funny seeing like people now be like, oh my God, you have a son. Like there's a whole new class of people who don't. There's also a new class of people who don't know about Little Moms because she's been so in and out for the past 8 months but there was a point where I was constantly talking about her. So if you followed me, then you know. And I wanted to transition because I wanted to talk about this. I saw a video about, okay, let me tell you the inception and I'm going to give you my hot take. So Lil Yachty was on the Club Shay Shay.
I seen a couple of clips from it.
First of all, I want to make it clear, I don't think Lil Yachty's a good guy. I think he's a bad friend and just an overall scumbag.
And sidebar, I actually really love the form that Club Shay Shay has allowed for these artists to just spill. My dream is that Beyonce one day would just forget who she was and go on there. But obviously, I know she
would never. But we can dream.
But no, yeah, I even though he's clearly not, a trained journalist, you can tell that by some of the questions she asked. Like I enjoyed that they feel comfortable enough to like talk to him. I like the forum that Club Shay Shay has offered, but continue.
He was talking about he has a daughter. Now, just like you, sometimes a lot of people don't know Yachty has a daughter. He doesn't post her. And a girl made a video saying that she believed it's because his daughter's dark skinned. Now, I don't know what his daughter looks like. She said she thinks it's similar to how Danny Lay's daughter is with the baby. I would not consider their baby dark skinned, but she is of the browner complected when you're comparing celebrity babies who get with a certain IG light skin, racially ambiguous woman, and they make these mixed babies. Okay, full stop. Then she went into talking about other influencers, those type of influencers who before we just knew them for them, and they became moms, and their content began to center around their kids. I think that that's a very nuanced conversation. And it's one that I don't think we can fully talk about and appreciate unless you are actively taking care of a child. Because I can definitely say pre-Little Moms living with me, it was like I noticed much, much more when women would have kids and all of a sudden it's now we're just talking about your baby. But in the same breath, I know when I had Little Moms, I was very intentional on like my content isn't going to be surrounded by her. It's not going to, and just like how you're intentional, like your content isn't all around Noah. And so to the point about the girl being like, she feel like these celebrities don't post their kids because they're not racially ambiguous versus people who post their kids and then kids just happen to be racially ambiguous. I think it's case by case basis, number one. But number two, I did want to come up and just represent for people who are raising kids or mothers. That's an experience like the kid is always around. So when content starts to shift, it is you're watching people go through growing pains. You're watching people get used to being a mom and having to take care of a life. And a lot of times it's reflected in content and what they're posting because that's like what's happening. Even you can take it to me getting flex. Like all of a sudden I'm talking about flex and my dog all the time. And it's not because I want my content to be all around being a mom influencer or a dog mom or all this. It's just like I'm sitting here and he's right here. I'm sitting here and little mom's just right here. I was doing stuff. And if my content is my lifestyle, if my content is about me, I am now taking care of a baby. And so sometimes when I feel like younger demographic, single demographic, childish demographic are talking about women who now are transitioning into motherhood, I do think you can critique it and say, hey, girl, we definitely want to, we want you, because I don't think being a mom should be like the sole basis of your personality. I think it should be a characteristic about you. But you, before you were a mother, you were yourself. So it should never fully encompass who you are. But I do think it gets a bit unfair when we start critiquing how influencers and people transition into motherhood and how they choose to show us how they're transitioning into motherhood.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely it's a double-edged sword, one of those things. Because on one end, if you never, ever, ever post your child, then people are, oh, you're ashamed of your child.
Right.
And if you post your child every single day, oh, you're exploiting. So it's definitely one of those things you kind of have to toe the line. Now, for me, I don't give a fuck what y'all say about anything. I do what I want to do, and I'm going to do what I want to do. Nothing y'all say can impact me because I truly don't give a fuck. And that's not to like disrespect or make it seem like I don't care about my audience. I do, but I don't care about what y'all think about my life because that's my life. Like, that's just like the life that I live is real and it's not on camera. And so me and my son, like you said in the beginning, there were definitely, like, if you scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see a lot of videos of my son.
But it's like
because
he's a baby.
I was going to say he was a baby, but also you have to put in perspective a lot of the things that was going on. I did not have a full-time job. I mean, I don't anymore anyway, but I didn't have a job. But I was also nursing. Noah did not take a bottle. He was on that boob. So he was always very, very close to me. It was always just me and him in this situation because everybody else did work around me. So it was literally just me and my baby for a while. And so it's not that my content centered around him. I just knew that if I wanted to make content, like my ideas come from real life just in general. And that's what I would do. But even then, it still wasn't heavily revolved around me being a mom or revolved around Noah. To kind of take it back to like present day and just thinking about even like the whole Lil Yachty situation, I also think it is a fair point to say that, conveniently speaking, a lot of the people who actively choose to not show their kids on camera, those babies do be brown skinned. And specifically with the Little Yachty's of the world, where his baby mama was being colorist.
Wasn't that the baby or Yachty too? It was Danny Lay who she made the song Yellow Bone. But if Yachty's baby mama,
no, Lil Yachty's baby mama. I'm talking about.
No. So this is the thing. I didn't know Yachty even had a daughter.
I forgot her name. But you can look it up on TikTok. I forgot the whole situation.
Shit.
But yeah.
Okay, that comparison makes way much more sense.
I think she even had to like walk back and apologize for some of the things that she said. But she's a known colorist. So it's not jarring to see people draw those conclusions. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially considering the things that we see and hear from a lot of these men in the industry when they talk about the way that they treat and talk about dark-skinned women, they conveniently forget that they're dark-skinned, so their children very well may be dark-skinned. It's always so baffling to me.
That's honestly weird. I don't get it.
It's so weird to me. I mean,
wouldn't you be worried about the general...
I don't understand colorism, but like I for damn sure don't understand it, knowing that you're gonna have kids, and it's like, well, what the fuck did you expect? Okay.
I didn't. So, okay. That video makes so much more sense. I still do stand on what I said about cause her, like I said, her video was like here, and here, and had a couple different points. And I still feel that way about like, just about when women are becoming moms and like all the content becomes about the kids. I did not know that I don't even know who Little Yachty's baby mom is. Because in the Club Shay Shay interview, he was talking about he don't post his daughter because of weirdos and all this type of shit.
Which I mean is
Which is
also very
also
valid.
fair. That's why I said it's a case-by-case basis.
For people assuming that this is the reason why, I'm saying I can understand them drawing that conclusion.
Okay.
We'll never really know. We can only take somebody for the word that they give. So I'm just saying I can understand why people would assume that. But I also completely understand what Lil Yachty is saying. Like, that's my child. And it's just like me, I don't have to post my child to get a certain level of validation. Like, me not posting my child, me not giving y'all updates about my child is not a reflection of my motherhood. Right. Y'all will never understand me as a mother. I'm never going to like divulge all of that information because that's something I like respect. And like, my son is everything to me, and his safety, his well-being, his life, his innocence is my utmost priority and concern. The way you think that I am as a mother, I could give two shits. So I also completely understand taking that away and not giving y'all access, because look at the way y'all act when Beyonce does not put Sir in front of the fucking camera all the time.
The thing is, what's so interesting about that is I simply just assumed, like, because Kim doesn't put, what is this, a psalm in the camera a lot. But when we have seen him, he's always kind of like fussy. And it's just like, you don't put your kids who might need a little bit more attention in situations where they got to be on Front Street. And that's not saying he has anything. He got behavior problems. He got any of that shit.
He probably simply don't like to be around a lot of people.
He's a little boy. They don't like to sit down for too motherfucking long. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's simply, us not seeing Sir, it just be tracking with what I know about little boys. Like,
no, for real.
And like, I think we're so used to seeing the loyals of the world who are very like relaxed and like, I am gonna yai. But everybody's different.
When you look at Rumi, like, clearly she enjoys being out, because every time she's in the camera, she's like, hey, like, clearly she's a little bit more sociable in front of the camera. Clearly there's reasonings behind everything. And I think sometimes people try to make shit so deep, and it's like, you don't know them. These people. Act accordingly. Stop being fucking weird.
We're gonna take a break.
And we're back.
I could just tell you, even if I was to post Little Moms, she was not a camera. That wasn't her personality. She was not into it. So it's like, even if I had been someone who was posting her, I would not have done it anyway, because that was not her steez. She's a camera shy person. She's a shy little girl. So it really was kind of like, even when we just want to take pictures for just pictures, she, so if you have a kid with that personality type, you're not going to put them in certain situations. And so that's why I've seen a lot of conspiracy theories about Sir. I never really pay them too much mind, because I just think it's a very simple explanation. Like, it's not that deep.
Right. Like, y'all kind of are taking that step into
but on the flip, I'm on Krishan Rock Talk right now. I landed
how
there.
You got there?
I don't fucking know, bitch. I watched one video, and then you know how TikTok does. I watched someone explaining there was a dinner, and Jaden and her kids were there, and Blueface's parents was there, and Krishan was off in the corner or something with Junior. And then she didn't speak to nobody at the dinner, but then when she got home, she was talking hella shit. She was saying she was mad Jaden was there, blase, blase. But this girl did, and I actually know what I did wrong. You know how, like, when the videos be like 7 minutes long, and you watch the whole thing, so this TikTok assumes you're very interested in this topic. Okay, cool. I watched the whole video because, I mean, the girl was a great storyteller. She broke the situation down. Like, all I needed to see was that one video to understand this exact situation. But unfortunately, I've seen now all the following. And with the following, Carlissa came out a couple days ago, and that was her first time meeting Junior, because she know her and Krishan are not cool. And he's over a year old. And at this point, it is confirmed that he has some issues or some disabilities, I should say.
I was going to say, I don't like to diagnose people.
I'm not diagnosing
online. And I for damn sure don't like to diagnose children. However, one thing I do know is that there are certain milestones that kids reach. And when I seen Krishan holding that baby at his 1-year-old birthday party, he could not hold his head up. I said, That's concerning. And knowing that that's his mama.
So basically the video I watched, Carlissa was talking about how she, much like you, was like she wasn't gonna diagnose anybody. She didn't even believe it. She just thought, stan pages and they, how they just digging into making things seem like it's what it's not, because he looking this way, he looking that way. He not looking directly into the camera, essentially. She was like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't dictate what's going on with him. She said she saw him and was like hurt, like she was taken aback. She did not. I mean, I can understand if you have been thinking like this is a lie the whole time. And she also said Blueface was saying, the way she words, like, basically Blueface kind of also downplayed what was going on to her. So I think for her, seeing it in person was jarring. And the way she described it was very Gen X, very politically incorrect. But what I appreciate about her, she went straight into the fact that Krishan hasn't done any early intervention is a problem. She said, she was talking about, she got the Screen Actors Guild insurance. She said, we got such good insurance. He could have all the chairs and the wheelchairs and the seats that he needs. It's funny because, our people can be so politically incorrect, but they have the correct right spirit.
He was on the right path.
She was absolutely on the right path. Like, no. If you really watch that video, what she was saying was real shit. People be so in denial about about their children's
all
reality
the time
that you don't understand. You're being selfish in the way that you don't want to confirm that your child needs additional help. And that's only going to hinder them.
I want people to hear, I need y'all to hear me and hear me well. You telling me that your baby ain't got nothing is not changing the fact that your baby probably got something. And I think that, us Black people now, I don't know if this was last episode or the episode before that, we said, kind of funnily, one thing about Black people, we gonna say ain't nothing wrong with that baby. And it's positive and negative, because on one end, we view them just as, everybody's the same. But on the negative tip, a lot of the times Black folks will ignore a lot of these signs that their kid got something going on that's outside of the quote unquote norm, because they fear ostracization or they fear whatever judgment. They feel like they'll feel like they did something wrong or something like that. And I need y'all to understand that, like, you pretending that something isn't wrong is not changing the fact. You allowing your kid to flourish, and it doesn't. And also I want to say, it doesn't mean that there's necessarily something wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that needs to have some attention to. For example, like, so many kids are on the autism spectrum, and a lot of the times they don't get diagnosed, and so a lot of their I guess you can say symptoms, the things that they present as, are misconstrued and treated as behavioral issues and all these things. And so they don't get the right accessibility. They don't get the right resources. And so it negatively impacts them.
And those resources make the difference.
What the fuck you need to do.
They make the difference.
And just saying, it makes a huge difference.
The quality of life for your child.
Exactly. Because you have no idea how getting early attention to kids with autism, or even ADHD, dyslexia, all of these damn things, early intervention is best, because it's not about trying to correct them, because it ain't nothing to correct. It's about knowing how to work with these kids with these certain things. Like, that's all it is. Because I know, thinking about now I'm not necessarily saying my parents did something wrong with not getting me tested, because they probably just thought I was just fucking hyper bad.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, if I had been diagnosed with ADHD earlier, my school career would have looked a lot different. School was very, very, very hard for me. Like, I couldn't sit the fuck down and listen. And I just thought it was just something wrong with me. I just thought I was tripping.
No, that's the point. I think the example about you and school possibly looking different, and grades looking different, that's the piece. That really is the piece. It can make or break. It's not about fixing anything. It's about giving kids tools to be able to live to have the best quality of life and to live the best life that they can possibly live. And you don't need to fix anything to do that. What you do is you give them tools, you give them help, you give them, because we do have to learn how to, if you're able to, gotta learn how to cope. Gotta learn how to make it through. You gotta learn how to get through what's going on. And sometimes when we're not given the tools, people figure out how to get through shit, and that's not always correct.
Right, or healthy. And it's gonna help the parents too. Shit, like, when you learn how to work with somebody with these ailments instead of fighting it, it makes your life easier too, because now you're also equipped with the tools. Like Black folks, we got to get out our own way. I know Black people really are like anti-doctor, and I get it. I get it, baby. I know the historical implications. I know why, but we got to move forward. Black folks, y'all got to go to the doctor.
It's obviously very sad that we're watching this happen with Krishan and Krishan Jr., but this situation has caused so many conversations in regards to this in our community. And if you want to look at like the glass as half full, I do feel like you have a lot of people openly saying, like I've said it, Carlissa said it, early intervention is the key. Like, get out your own head. You need to accept what's going on. You need to get your child the help that they need so they can have the best life they can have. Because if you don't do that, you're not being the best parent that you could be if you don't do that.
Must I say, naming that baby after you,
that was tea.
That was the most amazing thing. Krishan Jr., she ate with that. Yes.
She did eat with that.
And this is one little thing, because this is a pet peeve of mine. And I want us to be more knowledgeable about this, because it actually is going to help us. The bit about medical racism, I want you guys to hear me and hear me well. Medical racism is not doctors giving you medicine to kill you. I need us to listen, Black people. More likely than not, statistically speaking, the way that medical racism actually is going to affect you is by doctors misrepresenting you and your case, or not diagnosing you for the things that you actually have.
You medicine.
For not giving you the medication that you need. More likely than not, you are not being medicated. You're being misdiagnosed and underrepresented. So please stop doing that. Stop thinking that medicine is the devil. Stop thinking that the healthcare system is like, oh, you're Black, I'm going to give you high blood pressure medicine so I can kill you. That's not how medical racism works. Even when y'all try to use the Tuskegee, it's not funny.
It's just because it's like a valid example, but it's like, no.
But y'all use it incorrectly. They did not give the Black men syphilis. I need y'all to hear me. They did not give the Black men syphilis. They gave they had a group of Black men who were already infected with syphilis, and they did not treat them to see how it would happen. That is the medical racism in and of itself. They used these men who already were infected and experimented on them by not giving them the proper medication to see how it would affect their bodies. Y'all are misrepresenting that experiment to validate your fears of medical racism, but you're using it wrong.
And to validate the fucking Dr. CB diet. Okay, an alkaline diet cannot heal fucking everything. You niggas make me sick.
Hello.
Dr. CB also said your nuts should be green.
Hello. Don't get me on my fucking CB brain. I hate that nigga. I hate
Dr. CB.
He died of a pneumonia.
Ugh.
He's dead. And I need you to understand, you cannot cure mucus from your body. Some of you niggas need to hear me. Some of you niggas are dumb.
And you know they're going to be in the comments, but the alkaline diet.
No,
I
but
love a good glass of alkaline water from time to time.
I want you to know, no matter what you eat, your stomach is acidic, and it is going to neutralize the shit that you put in your body, because that is how science works. Y'all cannot change science. I'm the daughter of a scientist. Y'all will piss me off every time you get on here.
Is your dad a science teacher?
Yep.
Oh, I was going to say.
That nigga is a scientist. Literally did research at fucking NASA. Y'all are not going to be stupid in front of me. I hate it. It pisses me off. You really think that Dr. Sebi cured somebody of AIDS with nuts and berries? Go to hell. And by y'all doing that shit, it's fucking ableist. And that's my fucking take of the day. Y'all believing in Dr. Sebi is ableist. Because y'all think that y'all are treating yourselves. Y'all just don't have chronic illnesses. Y'all do not have anything to be treated. That's why you think it works. Well, I've never gotten sick before, because you just never got fucking sick, bitch. The turmeric milkshake that you just made is not curing you of cancer. It's not preventing you from getting cancer. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, let me say this. You know,
what are y'all talking about?
I do think that Mother Earth, my boo-boo, has the things that we need. Okay.
Of course.
Medication comes from this stuff. Mother Earth has also given us doctors, and chemists, and scientists. The herbs and the medical science can work together. They don't have to work against each other.
Hello?
It does not have to be one or the other. And I say that as a woo-woo ass bitch who has several herbalist books, because I do believe that you do not need to go and pop a pill every single time.
Exactly.
But when you do need to pop a pill, you
then
need
do
to
it.
simply just pop that pill.
Hello, as someone who participates and works in a holistic field of medicine.
The you know what I'm saying? The homemade cough syrup with the honey and the garlic and the onions.
Listen,
and the
I
lemon.
will be the first to tell you, as someone who works in holistic medicine, as a doula, it is a holistic practice, meaning we don't use, medications. We are not a medical professional. I'm here to tell you that no, you do not always need the X, right? You don't need that all the time. There are moments and times where you can take a holistic approach to certain things. But to say that everybody, the cure for all of these things is a Dr. Sebi handbook, you're going to go to hell. These people are going to die. There are some ailments, there are some things that people have that need real treatment by real doctors, not somebody who never went to school.
Not a light-skinned bitch
and who died
with
from pneumonia. Get the fuck out of here. God damn it. Y'all piss me off with that shit. Damn.
Let's spin it.
We're going to take a break. And we're back.
This is our segment, Spin It, where we put a PR spin on any of y'all messy, salacious, low-down, dirty situations. Now, Jamila and I do want to make it clear that we are not PR professionals. That has came up in the past, but we did study in undergrad, and we do enjoy the hustle and the bustle of it all. The advice, now we need to say this part too. The advice may be unhinged and it may be immoral because, these situations are such, but we are going to give you the best advice to get you out of your pickle dick, because PR is not always ethical. You should ask Olivia Pope. Okay. What do we have, Jamila?
Am I the asshole?
Ooh, probably, but we'll
probably. Usually when you ask that, you are. But let's get into the story. I'm 24 years old. I have 2 kids with my baby's father. He's a good dad, but hasn't been the best partner. In the beginning of our relationship, it was cute and everything nice until we went to college. I will say I should have ended things here, but I honestly thought life would have turned out totally different for us. He started cheating in college, and I found out about the first one. He told me it was one time and nothing else. Of course, my dumb ass believed him. He dropped out of 2 semesters of college and signs up for the military, the Marines specifically. He goes to boot camp for 3 months. I stack a little bit of money, and I would get that I got from my job so we can move in together after military stuff was done. Did nothing while he was gone, completely faithful. I know, dummy, right? So he did 3 months in, and then maybe 8 more months of school after his job. He confesses in school that he fucked 4 girls in college, comes back and cheats again while hanging out with his college friends. We were in COVID and moved in. Things got bad with my mom, and I was just trying to use him to get away from her. Then I get pregnant 8 months later. I have the kid. He barely helps, goes out with his friends, and didn't have a job. Got fired after I gave birth. His stepdad died, and we moved to Florida. When we moved, I wanted an open relationship because I know he was going to cheat. There were rules. Did he follow them? No. Disrespectful as fuck. But at this point, I could just walk it out, and I have a kid in Florida. Expensive. For reference, the straw that broke the camel's back was him fucking our coworker raw after him telling me he didn't like her and she didn't like him. Whole situation pissed me off. 2 of the rule were no raw dogging and no coworkers because he worked the same job, and that's difficult. We worked the same job. There were more rules, but he followed none of them. We had to move back to our hometown, and we did, but now I can't work because we have 2 kids. Price of daycare is too much, and he doesn't know how to pay bills. We're so behind on bills, and rent is not even funny. I'm not perfect, but I definitely try my best. After having kids, I need to work out. He won't even watch the kids when I want to work out. If I need to catch up on cleaning, if I need a break, I've cried to him about when I ask him to do it. He just says he's tired. All I need is my own life, and I don't even have that. And he claims it's because he's tired from work, but I even try weekends. Am I the asshole if I go move to another state with my parents and my kids and leave him with the kids? I really need a solution because I can't be homeless. I have to do something because if I move back home, I don't think I should bring my kids. P.S. It's been 6 years and he has been loyal for 3 years. He says 4. I say tomato. I don't be feeling him much anymore because the Florida shit really just turned everything in my mind around. He no longer is attractive, funny, smart, cool. He's sweet, but I want to work things out. And his father just passed a month ago. I'm just tired of arguing every day.
Girl, if you don't leave
Well,
that nigga,
instead of this being titled, Am I the Asshole? You should have titled it, Am I Stupid? I'm so sorry to
I
say
think
that.
you need some tough love here, sister.
You do need some tough love.
I do want to... She said, do I leave the kids with this nigga? I almost said, go ahead, leave them kids. Leave tonight.
Oh, Jesus.
Leave tonight. But here's the thing. You're already behind on rent, bills, all the things. It already seems like you're a single parent. You might as well pack up and go. I don't think like everything you described is the stuff that you would have him around to help you pay bills. You would have him around to help you with the kids. You would have him around to help you do X, Y, and Z. He's not even doing that. So what's the point of him? You might as well leave. Now, whether you take your kids or not, I don't think I'd be mad if you didn't take the kids. But I'm also not going to encourage that.
I knew when you said Marine.
Well.
So I'm going to start there.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, hear me and hear me well. If the man is in the military, the answer should be no. And I'm sorry, I know that's discriminatory against the military, but it's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
They're not good men. You're going to keep proving my point. I don't care about your daddy being in the military, bitch. Don't get in my comment section I don't care. They're all horrible. But let's go ahead and figure out what you're going to do.
Let's go piece by piece.
Let's go piece by piece. He's unfaithful and has been in the past. If he's been unfaithful in the past, he's unfaithful now, even if he isn't. I just want y'all to understand that. Okay? He's lying to you because he's been lying. So why would he stop lying now? He just decided to stop lying. I don't think that's the case. Niggas are they're just stupid and they realize that you're getting closer to them. They realize that you're getting close to leave, so they start acting right. They do that because it's called manipulation. They're breadcrumbing the fuck out of you. Let me give you a little bit so you can shut the fuck up and then I'm going to do bad again. Let me give you a little bit so you shut the fuck up, then I'm going to do bad again. That nigga is lying to you. He's manipulating the fuck out of you and he is using the fuck out of you. He's not raising them goddamn kids. He probably played a motherfucking game all goddamn. He ain't paying no motherfucking bills around this bitch. He damn near unemployed. What the fuck are you keeping him employed for? I mean, why are you keeping this nigga? If he's in the military, he should not be broke.
Well, she said he got fired and now we're all working the same job and he couldn't even do the open relationship right because he fucked the code. First of all the bitches in the sea, you choose a bitch at work. And I'm telling you can fuck other bitches. That's how you know he doesn't care. He's bottom of the barrel.
Mind you, let's be real, sister. Let's be real. You did not get an open relationship so that you could cheat. You didn't even because you knew he was going to keep cheating and it was going to make you feel better.
Waiting for you to mention
because when did you get your back blown out?
I thought that was going to be the twist. She was pregnant by another nigga or something because the relationship was open. We didn't even hear nothing about that.
Girl, you only got an open relationship so that when he cheated on you, you could be like, oh, well, I guess. Like, you wanted to feel easier. You didn't want to go through the hassle of trying to go through his phone and all this shit. Stop. Y'all need to stop doing that shit, okay? The moment you feel like, well, maybe we should just get an open relationship and she's going to keep cheating.
Leave.
It's done.
You should leave.
Now, in regards to the children, hear me and hear me well, that if he is still in an active military, because if he's in the military, sometimes they do have like separate jobs. Like sometimes they work like on the military, like it's short term, and then they go back. So I can understand what you mean as far as like him being in the military, but then not also having a job. I know what you're talking about. Put that nigga on child support 2 motherfucking day. That will come straight out that military paycheck.
Yeah, they'll send that straight to you, direct deposit.
Okay, you need to I don't know what state you're in. But you need to make sure that you are the immediate guardian. And this is me giving you motherly advice, like mother to mother. I'm hoping that you care about your kids. If you didn't care about your kids, then you wouldn't be trying to figure this out. I'm hoping that you care about your kids. You need to make sure that you are their legal guardian. You need to make sure you file for child support and you need to find you a fucking job. Period. And you need to get the fuck out of there.
She said she was thinking about moving in with her parents who are out of state.
Then do it. And if you can move in with your parents, you need to do that this weekend.
Like no funny shit. This drops on Thursday. You need to be out that house on Saturday.
And I'm not joking around. You're pissing me off, bitch. Pack all your shit up and go. Your parents are gonna allow you to stay in that house, and you're talking about I don't know what to do. Bitch, go to your parents' house. Let them watch the kids while you find your ass a job and start stacking that fucking money.
No, at least you'll be able to work out. She said she can't even work out for an hour because the nigga won't watch the kids. You know your mama and dad will watch them kids for an hour.
They're gonna be happy to. They're going to be excited to watch them goddamn kids. Go online
right now and see if you find a little remote job based in where your parents, what state your parents are in, because you said that's not the state that you in, so you can secure a job, so you can get, and on the back end, and honestly, I don't know the temperament of this man. I know you're trying to leave. They say the most dangerous time for women is when she's trying to leave a relationship. You ain't got to let, I always say, bitch, if you don't ghost this nigga smooth off the strength, like do not even let him know you're getting ready to leave. What you need to do is make these plans very silently, buy them plane tickets. And he don't seem like he worth a damn anyway. He go out with his friends all the fucking time. Get a little red-eye flight. Put you and them babies. Go to the airport at midnight. Pack that shit up while he's outside.
And when you get there, and only when you are safe and secure with your parents, then you can let him know, hey, I'm out.
I'm not coming back.
If you want to see your kids, we can do this, and that, depending on his temperament. If you feel like, it's safe to be around, like, depending on your parents. Because I know for me, you can try it with my parents if you want to. I don't mind telling you I'm at my parents' house, bitch. You can come in here and try it if you want to. My parents is bodyguards, bitch. Yeah. And they strapped. So if your parents is, a little on the weak side, maybe wait till them court orders come out. I don't know if because he's in the Marines, I'm going to assume he'll knock your head off. So let's go ahead and file a restraining order too, just to be safe, bitch. Because if he's in the fucking Marines, he's fucking crazy. I can tell you that. And he's probably bald-headed by choice. Them men are scary.
Bald-headed by choice is crazy shit.
That's what they be doing in the Marines. Just buzz cuts, just ball and steel ball.
Like the man on fucking drumline.
Very scary. Mm-hmm. Very, very scary men. Get the fuck out of there. And don't piss me off and don't look back. First of all, you wasted 6 years of your fucking life with this nigga. Don't waste your youth.
You're already 24.
Like, girl, come on. You got 2 fucking kids. You know how niggas be with bitches with kids. As a bitch with kids, you know what I'm saying? It be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
At least you got one baby daddy, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets sticky again when you get multiple and then nigga, you know what I'm saying? You can still get you a new nigga in 3 weeks.
You get you a new nigga tomorrow.
I need her to be safe first. I need her to make sure, you know what I'm saying? I need you to get some business.
Well, the relationship already open, so.
Hello? If you play your cards right, you could be living large by May, bitch.
Yeah.
Stack up at your parents' house while you get you a new job and focus on that career path. Okay? Once you've been working for 2 weeks, then I will allow you to start dating. But bitch, you dead wrong for not getting no money on too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I get it. But at some point, you need to start being self-sufficient.
To pay the bills. Like, her money has been going towards trying to keep them afloat.
Okay.
So I don't think there was room to stack. She said they're really behind.
And you should be ashamed of that. You should not be paying him and your way.
I was going to say, girl, because you could be behind on your own by your own goddamn self. Right. You being behind with a man. Let me tell you something. What my grandmother told me. You don't let no man live with you not paying no bills.
That don't make no sense.
That don't make no sense. If you're going to struggle, you can struggle solo dolo. What you struggling and you got a man sitting next to you for, that's stupid.
That's dumb.
That's dumb.
That's crazy
completely
as fuck.
Idiotic.
That's why I say you're not an asshole. You're a little stupid.
Yeah. But you don't have
and
to
I mean that with love. I hope you understand that we talking to you like this because you need to hear it. I wish I could push you in your head like this. Get it together.
Yeah.
Why would you ever let a nigga do you like that?
And he fucking y'all coworker raw.
Oh my God. Now you gotta beat the bitch ass too. I don't know.
Michael Jackson jazz fingers.
Don't beat the bitch ass. Don't beat the bitch ass.
She probably think y'all relationship open. She ain't know a thing. She ain't know the rules. You know he was lying to her too.
You know niggas lie. Because if he really wanted to be a father, guess what? He'll go to that courthouse and give his case. And he'll plead his case. But I guarantee you, bitch, when you file for custody and that support, you know what he gonna do? Sign on the dotted line.
Yeah.
And they gonna take that little percentage out that check and he's gonna be all right. And he'll do a little visitation here and there.
And he'll figure it out. Just like he figures out how to fuck bitches.
Hello?
When you're not around. Raw.
Hello?
Have you been tested? You should go get tested as well.
Make that your first priority.
Yeah.
Soon as you get, I need actually move first, bitch. I ain't gonna lie. Move first.
Because
When
whatever you
secure
have,
with your
you've been
parents,
had it. So you
right,
can go ahead and
you
move.
already got it. So
And you
you'll be
24,
okay for
you
another
still on your
48
parents'
hours.
insurance. That don't end until 26. So
Exactly.
go back to your parents' house.
Yeah, so a little 48 hours ain't gonna do much. Go ahead and pack up your belongings, get to your mom and them house, schedule an appointment with the gynecologist, get a full suite done, and hopefully you're clean and hopefully you're good to go because babes, that's scary.
Yeah.
Block him on social media. Only allow his number to not be blocked because sometimes if you block them before the court case, that'll do you wrong. So don't block his number, but you can block him on social media. Keep that number open.
Why you see my Instagram, see where I'm at?
For court purposes. Get your documents in order, bitch.
Yeah. We don't even need to PR spin this. You could just go on the internet and be like, fuck my baby daddy.
You needed real shit, bitch.
And if you're anything like me, when you safe at like a month removed, you gonna go out, look real sexy, real fine, and make the song "Fuck My Baby Daddy" on the post.
Hello,
you gonna be all right. See it.
You're gonna be all right. You got so much time. And let me tell you, I know you're scared.
24 is so young, honestly.
I know you're scared because this has been your life for so long, but I promise you, the other side of that rainbow, bitch. Ooh, you are finna be so happy. There's gonna be an energy that just snaps into you. You're gonna be like, wow, I never thought I could be happy again. I never thought that I could see this side of myself again. Bitch, you're gonna get there, okay? I don't care how long you've been with this nigga. When you finally
got so much life left to live. You're like, granted, yes, 6 years is a lot of years. It's your entire adolescence. But comparatively, as someone who spent the first of my early 20s also in relationships and the latter end of my 20s, like not in relationships, I'm so far removed. Like once you get to like, honestly, even 26, you'll be like, that seems like so long ago. I was tripping. You really will be.
And you think it's bad, but it's like, girl, you're not even 30 yet. Like, you're going to experience this post-dating life and your mind is going to be blown. Yeah. You're going to be so intrigued with this new dating and just what it's like. You're going to be like, wow, there's different type of niggas out there.
Hopefully no nigga will be able to play you again.
You're going to be like, wow.
You know what?
You're equipped. You have an advantage over some people because you have seen the worst of the worst.
You already got kids. You ain't got to worry about none.
Exactly. You don't ever have to have another kid. If you want to, you can go ahead and try to.
You know what I'm saying? That's a good number.
I'm just saying, sister. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right.
Let us know how it goes. Spread in.
Please.
Well, let's get into the comments.
All right, y'all. So now we're going to read some of y'all's comments that y'all have been leaving on various platforms. We love when y'all send us love. We love when y'all send us all of your thoughts as you're watching the podcast. So please remember to keep liking, subscribing, following, and leaving those comments because even if we don't read it here on the podcast, we're definitely reading it by ourselves because we just love y'all so bad.
Okay, so I will be reading, what are these? These Spotify's. No, I feel like this is Apple Music. Which is this first one, Melissa?
Yeah, that's Apple.
Apple? Okay. Kinley J said, love y'all down. You guys are so freaking hilarious. Just what I need when I'm at work. Every time I listen, I feel like I'm talking to my homegirls, period. Also, I second y'all coming to Columbus, Ohio when you go on tour. Period. Okay. Ain't that where Sky Jackson baby daddy from? Ohio? I don't know if it's Columbus. Yerky jerky.
Child, who knows?
Okay, and loved. Reese Omega said, as a 37-year-old gay elder millennial, I love this podcast. You girls give me so much life. Y'all are so intelligent and cultured. I followed y'all on TikTok for a long time, but this podcast is just a joy for me. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so these are from Spotify. At Deja O. Williams, y'all ladies hit the nail on the head with the boycott discussion. I am a health equity organizer in DC, and it makes me so mad when I see people act like this work is done overnight. It literally takes months to plan a campaign, and if we talk in execution of the plan and wins, baby, years.
Exactly.
At Lauren Nicole, I feel like Jamila, spirituality-wise, I just crave the community of church now. I may go back soon and performing, LOL. Heavy on the performance aspect of it all.
Just want to dance a little bit. Get light on my feet.
Jamila, LOL. They want us pregnant with chlamydia. I don't even know why or what. Why did I say that?
I don't even know what that relates to anymore. You say so much bullshit.
The Republicans are banning.
Oh, yeah. I need to clip that. That is so funny. At Miriam Jeffries, Macklemore out here pandering to watermelon, Palestine, and making songs about that. Y'all are funny. Aristotle Smith, Jamila with that look up every time wait, what? Jamila with that look up every other time she have a point be killing me. Y'all know I'm going.
You be looking straight into the camera. I'm trying to.
That's because Mecca don't know where to look. She be looking everywhere but where she needs to.
I'm trying to get better about it. I think I was looking at the camera a little bit last week.
I'm crying. AKP, shout out Mount Olive. LOL, I love Jamila gives us that lore about Mobile. Okay, Mount Olive in the building.
Period. Okay.
Ed Kendra Laria. Thank you, Jamila, for that take on the Bible and religion. I always struggle with my understanding of it, and this was a perfect way for me to grasp it. Love y'all both. Love you. Thank you so much.
Okay, period. I'm on the YouTube, and I said, this is at Super Nola Girl. Oof. Nola baby. This week's episode was very educational. I love y'all. Oh, I love that y'all make us laugh and teach us things all at the same time. So many good points about the tab situation. And I love the religious conversation because a lot of people don't talk about the negative things that may go on in church when we get into conversations about different types of spirituality. I'm not an avid churchgoer, but I do love God. And I think that shows without me having to say, to Mecca's point. Thanks for another great one on my drive to work this morning. Oh my God, you're welcome. Hey. And then, okay, I need to zoom in, child. You know I can't see worth a damn. A Chanel 2015 said, Jamila has me screaming. Not that God Biden's face pulled into a ponytail. They really do. It's pulled so tight. It's tucked like it is. Okay. Aquania. I hope I'm saying that right, girl. Aquania, Mulba. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. 28.35 said the jump cuts and the screams. Okay, now I'm gonna have to go back and watch all of this.
I still not finished watching it. Like I still have to go back and finish. I was so busy last week.
Purple Pleader 42 said, I'm anti-religion, but I really enjoy the church talk. Jamila was cracking me up when she went in on the failed NFL boycott. Jerry.Vincent said, oh, y'all took it there today with the church talk. I feel so seen. I love y'all. And then what's this? Clark 0405 said, Bill Clinton does look like he have the suds. Love y'all. And then K-JK3ZJ said, at 109.53, it's okay. It's not, but LOL. Jamila is so funny.
Thank y'all.
Well, happy birthday, Beyonce. And you have everything that Kim Kardashian doesn't.
And a baby.
And a baby.
Bro, Wendy is so iconic for that shit.
Love her.
She's so funny.
I'm glad she's
Thank
doing
you guys
good.
so much for watching yet another week, another episode of Unhinged and Immoral. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Unhinged and Immoral is hosted by Jamila Bell and Mecca.
Produced by Melissa D. Montz and Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lawrence.
Production assistant by Melanie D. Watson.
Music by AOTY and Brooklyn Billionaires.
And graphics by Claudia Choi.